Money and success can get you the friends that you want, but the struggle will get you the friends that you need. I'm James. This is my take on reality. Let's get it. Jibri is a type of friend who, if you're doing well and everything is going good for you, he'll be the first one to celebrate you and tell you that you should follow your dreams and everything is great and you're a wonderful person and you the big time cruise. Oh, okay. David is the type of friend who has your back. And that's the type of friend who has loyalty and love for you and wants to see the best for you, and not only wants to see the best for you, but wants to make sure and try to ensure that you get the best for yourself. Now, between the two, I would take a friend like David hands down every time. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Jibri, he might be the kind of guy that you want to have a beer with, maybe, but it wouldn't go beyond that, and you damn sure wouldn't be looking for him when the check came, because you know he gonna come up short. Now, between the two gentlemen, they have a very complicated history. The first thing that I noticed is that they described their first meeting as, him and David got into a confrontation, they got into a physical altercation when they first met, and David wound up kicking him in the head and putting him in a coma. Now, the one real question is, what the hell did Jibri do to make this dude kick him into a coma? Now, keep in mind, David is not from this country. He's actually from Serbia. And the idea that a Serbian kid can just kick an American into a coma and still be walking around in America, it kind of lends itself that this whole fight and this whole misunderstanding, this altercation was actually Jibri's fault. And then I'm just going to go on record that if you kick me into a coma, we are never going to be friends. After that, we're never going to be friends. It's on sight. If I see you walking down the street, I hope you got on sneakers, because you better see me before I see you, because I guarantee you getting stole. Like, there's no way out you just walking around after that. I mean, you walking around, you forgetting stuff, and you can't remember your name. You don't know where you parked your car at. Oh, yeah, that was when that kid kicked me into a coma. Nope. Now, even in the history of them having disagreements, as it turns out, they continued to be placed into physical confrontations with each other. And in fact, they wound up catching a physical confrontation between Jibri and David during their time in Chicago, where, David is saying, okay, guys, we got this studio time famous engineer in the booth. Black Serbs back together for the first time in forever. And I think it's like a couple years since they actually were working together. We're back together. Bands reunited. Okay, everybody turn your phones off because we got work to do. And Jibri, of course, at that moment says, well, now that we're about to start working, let me just text Miona and let her know what I'm doing. And of course, David, I'm not saying he necessarily approached it the right way, but I understand where he's coming from. If we come here to the studio to work, then let's get to work. You're at work now. And let's keep it a buck. The engineer, even though he volunteered to work with the Black Serbs, engineers don't work for free. And even if the guy said, okay, I'll let you guys come over and I'll work with you on your record because I really dig your sound, the studio time costs money. Somebody had to pay it. It sounds like David is doing really well. So there is another assessment that you might be able to infer that David is actually the one who's paying for the studio session. So if David is coming off and paying his money so that he can get the studio session popping and made the arrangements for this engineer to come in and record them, and he's saying, guys, I'm paying for this. Let's get off the phones. Let's really focus on getting this done, because I'm paying for it. And if you want to stand there and start texting people, bruh, I'm going to have a problem with it. And this is what happened. Hey, stop, bro. Stop. No, you up. Stop. We don't need to... Now, if you noticed, in this situation, David was talking and Jibri called himself getting upset. So he slaps him upside the head 3 times before David even responded. And each time, Jibri hit him a little harder. And after the fight happened, let's keep it a buck. This is the guy that kicked him into a coma. And when they were fighting, David had Jibri hands down. Because as soon as he locked him up in that headlock, Either Jibri was going night-night, he was going back to the coma, or my man was getting the pine box and he was going to be staring at the top of a church somewhere and there was going to be some slow singing and flower bringing. Now, in addition to that, one of the things that Jibri talked about after the fight occurred was that he was upset because of what was going on with his mom and everybody doubting his relationship, and he's under a lot of pressure because Miona wants to go to California and he can't afford to take her, and he got all these other problems. So what did he do? He took those problems out on his friend. Now, the very subtle difference between the two gentlemen and how they approach their friendships, and this is kind of where I get into that friendship versus buddy. There's a saying, people and relationships and your friendships are like trees. Some people are like leaves. They're very seasonal. A good strong wind come or a little rain show up and things get tough, the leaves just blow away and they're gone. They're only there for a season. They're very temporary. Other people, they'll fool you because they're like branches. They're strong and they're sturdy up until the time you go out there and you really put some weight on it. Then all of a sudden they dissolve under your feet, they snap and they break. And Jibri is more in that tree branch stage. Because he fools you into thinking that he's your friend and he's your buddy and how he approaches you because he cares so much about you. The last example is the roots. These are the permanent friends that feed you. These are friends that give you nutrients and life essence that help you move forward to grow and become better, to become stronger. And of the two, David kind of fits more into that root category, whereas Jibri is more in that branch category. And I'm going to show you an example of the difference between the two approaches, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
I just want to have my friends and family support me. If you pull up tomorrow, bro, and you know me, if you pull up tomorrow and you say, Jibri, I just won the lottery, I'm going to be happy for you, brother. What are you up to?
Man, I'm working, man. You see all these trucks?
Yeah.
So we just growing, making money. You got to start working with me, man.
Bro, we got to work on this music. I don't know what you're talking about.
Tomorrow we'll knock out the music. We can do both. Let me show you guys some trucks. Come on. You see that truck right there?
Yeah.
That Volvo 760?
Yeah.
Yours. Saying I don't want you to struggle. I want you to succeed so we can do music without stressing.
Now, if you notice in the video, Jibri made the assessment that, hey man, if you hit the lottery, I would be happy for you. What does that tell me in his description of friendship? Because this is his big plea for, how a friend should act towards one another. And the truth of the matter is, Jibri looks at it as though success, achievement, are individual accomplishments which should only be enjoyed by the person receiving that individual accomplishment. If you hit the lottery, I would be happy for you because it's great for you and you would be changing your life and you would be moving on alone. And so therefore, if something good happens for me, you should be happy for me as I separate myself from you and I move on past you and I leave you behind. Now, if somebody is taking that approach, you need to let them go. You need to go ahead and be happy, man. You do your thing. Do your thing. I'm happy for you. Go do it. David's approach is way different. When he meets back up with David, because David invites him out to start recording with the Black Serbs again, because he's trying to get his friend and his band back together, the first thing he says is, hey man, that $150,000 to $200,000 truck over there, that's yours. I'm going to let you drive that truck and make money for you. And I'm going to make sure that you can take care of yourself and your family and you have all the money and resources you need so that you can be successful and you can chase your dreams. I'm going to lay the foundation for you to be able to do all the things you want to do. Not only that, he literally said to him, hey man, I want to make sure that you guys are in a situation where you don't have to struggle. I don't want to see you struggling. I don't want to see you having a hard time. Now, David, like I said, David is the type of dude who, if this is your boy, that is your dude. I would take a friend like David every time. Why? Because Jibri is going to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to give you all the platitudes about, oh, you my friend and you number one. You're going to rise to the top. And when you get to the top of the mountain, you're going to look down and you're going to say, I'm shooting towards the stars. Oh, yeah. And your dream's going to come true, player. Because that's what it's all about, is dream chasing, right? And David is going to give you the real facts. He's going to give you the honesty. And that's what you need in your life, especially as you start to become more and more successful. Because Jibri's whole thing is that he's going to be this great big star. Now, as you become a big star and you become famous and rich, you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of people who are going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. Hey man, I'm drunk as hell. Do you think I should drive my Lamborghini at 200 miles an hour down the highway? What could go wrong? Yeah, boss. That sounds like a good idea, boss. Oh, yeah, do that. David is the kind of guy, yo, man, you getting kind of rowdy. You're famous as all get out. You need to tone it down because I see some guys over there with cameras. That's the type of dude David is. David is the kind of guy who, if he's eating, he wants all his dogs to eat too. And that's the kind of guy who is down for you. That's the kind of guy that you want in your corner. Somebody, if I'm winning, we're winning. As opposed to, in Jibri's case, I'm winning, so you should be happy for me. Now, one of the things that, even when they were trying to get back together, and before Jibri got all pissy and jumped up and ran off, what David said was, hey man, we're brothers. And as brothers, as family. If you have a problem with me, you come and tell me that you have a problem with me. Don't go running off and be mad at me. Come to me and talk to me and tell me what's going on. What did David say? He said that when you guys were, when you started bringing Miona around, I voiced my perspective on what I thought about Miona. You got mad, you stopped talking to me, and you compartmentalized your entire situation. So you had the black Serbs over here, and then you had Miona over here, and then you didn't want the two groups to come together at all. Now, what does this mean? If you watch what he said, Jibri said during the course of the tell-all when he was talking to Patrick.
I don't care if that's your brother, your dad, your sister, your mom. If somebody's toxic in your life, you are removed from my life. I'm benching you. When you do the work and you get better, maybe I'll bring you back into my starting five. But right now, you're benched. Email me.
Jibri is such a coward that he can't have the conversation because he's weak-minded. He can't have the communication. He doesn't have the communication skills, nor does he have the testicular fortitude to say, hey, this is my issue with you. So what he does is he compartmentalizes, he segregates, he separates, and then he eliminates. So he separates himself from David because David didn't agree with everything he was doing and had reasons for why he didn't agree with it. He compartmentalized, he just focused on Miona. Then he got rid of Jibri or his relationship with David entirely and stopped talking to him. And that's not what you want from a friend. If me and my brother get into an argument, then me and my brother will come together and we'll talk about what it is that was bothering either one of us and how we felt about it, what you said, how I felt about it, and then you tell me why you said it, and we'll come to a meeting of the minds, and then we get past it. Why? Because our relationship is more important than any disagreement that we could have. And that's what you don't see with Jibri. He's not ready to put in the work. David is. Yeah, there's a saying, a true friend will help you move. A great friend and a brother will help you move a body. David is the kind of guy, he's not only going to help you, but he's showing up with his own shovel and his own trash bags and lime. I'm just saying, between the two, David, you can do better. We say that all the time about other types of relationships on this channel and other channels when it comes to a lot of the 90-day situations. David, he can do better, and more importantly, he deserves better. That's my take. I'm James. This is my take on reality, and I'm out.
'Cause I've been living life right like I